Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome to this special show today. We have some important information that you're going to understand how things work within the struggle. We also have a lot of some calls that are going to come in. But for now, let's cross-examine some issues that happened within the few days. We saw the president, Secretary Chris. We all know him as Secretary Chris. President Chris went to Nigeria for the mission that was to go and commemorate the 1st of October with the refugees. As we all know, this is a journey that no president has ever taken this risk to go to ground one, as we all call it. We saw him going there not only this year, but in 2018, he also went there when they arrested the NERA 10. He was the only cabinet member back then, communication secretary under Seseko Ayoktabe. He braved the odds and went there and held a press conference and asked the Nigerian government, we need our leaders back. That is what he went there to do. He doesn't go to Nigeria because he wants to go to Nigeria. He go for a mission. And this time around, he went to go and see the refugees there. So I don't know why this hysteria where people will just start complaining for nothing. I don't know, because no president has ever gone to Nigeria. So why is it a problem when somebody who has taken the new leadership, he promised during his campaign that he's going to go to Nigeria and visit the refugees most of the time, because we only send food. We only send food to them. When you send food, then you don't really see how the people are living. You don't ever know where the people live. You don't ever know the housing condition. You don't know what they need. Food, sometimes they don't only need food. Sometimes they need to see you to have that impression that they have a leader too, right? So when you give them food and send them a t-shirt, we have photo there, all those things, what has that going to do? How that going to help them? When you give them food, your presence is also needed, because you don't know the treatment, how they are going there. You don't know their health conditions, living condition, how they are surviving, because it's not easy to live in another country as a refugee, especially in Africa, where the government doesn't give full support. You know, they give shelter, but the condition is not good. So when you say you are sending them food, you are sending them, but you don't know where they live. How do you send people food that you don't even know where they live? You don't know how they live and how they survive. So that is why President Chris Ano took it as a priority to go to Nigeria when he take to office, and that is what he did. So when people were saying all those things, oh, why he went there, it doesn't matter. That is all crap. It doesn't matter, because what matters is the welcome that they gave him, the warm welcome. It was so warm. Let me play you this. Sometimes it's just, I don't understand why people just want to do things because they want to do things, you know. But this is President Chris Ano in Nigeria, right? In Nigeria. Look at the photo. Look at what the other people are doing. They are in a hotel enjoying. Secretary Chris and President Chris is in Nigeria. Look at the photos. He's having some time with the people there. He's spending the 1st of October with the people there. Contrast it with the other people who say they are leaders, and then they say, why should Secretary Chris or President Chris go to Nigeria? Why should President Chris go to Nigeria? But they are not going to Nigeria. They have never been to Nigeria. Sako doesn't know Nigeria even. He's never been there. Maybe maybe he was there when before he left to the US, but since he became president, he has never been to any what country and where. He went to Brazil, but to go and sell his books. No, he did not go there for, and we gave him money. We gave him money to go. We were very happy that it's a diplomatic breakthrough that he's got in Brazil. That's the information that we had. We never knew that he's going to publish his book there. He's going to sell his book. Many people gave me money all over. But when you see somebody who is dedicated to the struggle, nobody has to tell you. You see and you know. You feel it. Okay? You feel it. Somebody will just come and tell you that, oh, I love the struggle. No, nobody should tell you that he or she loves the struggle. You see the person's action, you know. Okay? And nobody will fool you. Nobody will tell you lies or truth or this. No. You see the action of the person. Okay? Somebody whose wife is in the mortuary. People who do not even care about the living condition of somebody. You do not even send condolences to that person. But you have the guts to say that he abandoned the wife. You don't even know how the wife was sick. You don't know what the wife told him. You don't know anything about the wife's condition. But you got the guts to be talking about that. But determination is something that we are looking, you know. The fact that somebody promises to do something during the campaign, that is what people want. When you promise something, if you fulfill it, people have trust in you than somebody who will just be there doing nothing. We said it earlier. We don't want presidents that will sit in their homes and be zooming people all the time. You know, we're not in a Zoom country. We want to make it work. We want to make it work. We are building a nation. And any president that is there should practice how a president should do. You should not say that, no, now we don't have a this. I mean, sometimes it baffles me why people are saying that we don't need a government now. Just hold on. Who doesn't need a government? When our parents built the southern Cameroon that you people are calling today, didn't they have a government? Some of you are just funny sometimes. I don't know if you want to build a nation or you want to build a Baghdad, as I can call it. We are building a nation, okay? We are building a nation. We are not building a Baghdad. It's so funny, okay? Look at this, okay?
This is a message that I brought here today. That if the Nigerian government cannot step out and take responsibility for the action of abduction or at least make the people aware of what these people's crimes are.
So this is the president in Nigeria when Ayok Tabe was arrested with the NERA 10. Okay? He went to Nigeria. He took the courage. When people are saying things, they don't even know what people have done in this struggle. That is the Secretary of Communication back then. He went to Nigeria and fought for the release of those NERA 10 that were arrested in Nigeria. Okay, that is him there talking to the, talking. That's him. Okay.
Behalf of the interim government of Ambazonia. Human rights. Today, on the behalf of the interim government of Ambazonia, in my capacity as a communication secretary, I am making a very strong appeal to the government of President Buhari to let our people go. Please, let them free, set them free. They did not commit a crime, at least not that which we know, and have not been accused of any. It's a disservice. What is being done is a disservice to their wives and to their children, to keep them under lock and key as if they are criminals. Now, one last thing. Let me make this point very clear, because in the last few days, we have heard some allegations to the effect that the Nigerian government, joined by some international bodies, international organizations, are holding them to some kind of backroom talks before they can be released. Now, I want to make this very, very clear. We of the Southern Cameroon's interim government hope that this allegation is not true, because any form of agreement forced upon them while they are held incommunicado will not, you can listen to me, will never be binding on the interim government of the Southern Cameroons.
And Siseko is a
So you heard what happened. You saw the president in Nigeria. Sometimes you have to follow what he was there in Nigeria when they arrested Ayoktabe. A lot of things happen, but when people say things, you have to know who is someone before you start talking about the person. You don't know the person. You just saw the person in this struggle. Most of us just met in this struggle. You don't know what people have achieved in their life. You don't know. People just say things about people. You don't even know people. You know, that was what we call courage. 2018, he went there to Nigeria. But today, people only to go and give food. People are talking about that. When he was going there to rescue Siseko Ayok, what did people say? When he went there to rescue Siseko Ayok Tabe, why didn't you say he was going there to sell La Republique or to sell the refugees there? You didn't know that the refugees were there then, that he can go and poison them. When he went there to go and rescue your leaders, Siseko Ayok Tabe and the other NERA 10. You never say Secretary Chris is going to poison the NERA 10 or going to poison the refugee. That's the same person that went there to rescue the NERA 10. Is the same person that is the president today. He has not changed. Except you people think that people change over time. But whom I know that I've worked with, he has not changed. He has not changed. We hear that some people are going for what they call national dialogue. And with the coalition for dialogue and what coalition for dialogue and surrender, we know that, when you people are getting into the nerves of the Southern Cameroonians, I don't know what you are really thinking. If you are a federalist, right, why are you fighting against independentists? Because both of us are in the same boat, but you people want to be dependent. That's your problem. You want to be dependent because federation means dependency to La Republique. Okay? You want to be dependent on La Republique. But what is, look, national dialogue, Swallows, Tumi, Munzo, Eli Smith, those are the people that are promoting federation. With the other one, how they call him again? Most of them, Eli Smith, all these people, the Success Congos and the rest, they are promoting federalism. Instead of them to be fighting for federalism, they are instead fighting against independentists. I don't know if they really want to achieve the federal system that they want, or instead to fight La Republique to give the federal system that they are fighting for, they're instead fighting against people who are fighting for their independence. Okay? We're in two separate camps. Yes, independentists and the federalists. Okay? They can call themselves whether unionists or whatever name they want to call themselves. That's their problem. But we are not for anything federation. They have to instead fight to get their federation. Fine and good for them. But when they are coming to fight people who are instead fighting for their independence, how does that add up? It doesn't add up. You make us enemies when we are fighting almost for the same thing, right? But you are fighting for federal system. We are for independence. Why do we bother you? Why is it that the people who are in for independence is your problem? I'm asking those people who are saying I'm a proud federalist. Yes, good and fine for you. The Mozos, the Tumis, the Mozos, the Ellie Smith, whatever you want to call yourself. But that has nothing to do with us. We don't even put us in that line. Why? Are we the one giving you independence or a federal system? You have to fight for the people that annul the federal system in the first place. Are we the ones that annul the federal system before in 1972? Are we the ones that changed it to La République from the Union or the United Republic of La République to La République? Or are we the one that is going to issue the federal system to you people? Why are the federalists fighting against the independentists? And I don't understand if you guys, the federalists, are really fighting for the federation. Because when you look at the history of this fight, the Southern Cameroonians have been fighting for this thing for long. And before, they were begging for federation. But the government could not even say of federation. Even now like this, they are talking of decentralization. The national dialogue that they went, the major national dialogue, what did they discuss there? They discussed this thing of different commission. Let me list some of those commissions. I think I wrote those things in one this thing. Commission of diaspora. Commission of the diaspora. They have the commission of what? Disarmament and demobilization and what again? Reintegration? Oh my God. Commission of decentralization. Hey, that's the commission. What again? Bilingualism. What kind of bilingualism do people have? Decentralization. What are they decentralizing? You have a commission of diaspora. Then some leaders, these same people, these federalists, they are going to Canada to go and talk. These people will make me laugh. Federalists are going to Canada to discuss about their federalism. Oh my God. Then they say it's a coalition for dialogue and surrender. Anyway, our president will not be going to Canada. That's a good news I'm telling you. He will not be joining those coalition for dialogue and surrender people. If they want to go and discuss it, that's fine for them. But we are not joking in this struggle. Some of them think that people are joking in this thing. The last time they went to that same Canada, I don't know what they discussed there, but we had a platform. A mediation is not about going to eat bobolo in Yaoundé like they did in the national dialogue. That's madness. You cannot go and be eating bobolo and beans in Yaoundé and call it national dialogue. The Swiss government has put in place gave his service to us. Mediation between two countries has nothing to do with national dialogue. Has nothing to do with national dialogue. When they talk of mediation, is in an international mediation, and the only thing that can resolve an international mediation is a third party. So when these guys go to Canada now and go and sit there and be eating, they are drinking wine and they are laughing champagne, they are mad upstairs. They are mad upstairs. They don't know what this struggle entails. The sacrifices that people have sacrificed in this struggle. They should be very careful with people's life. They should be very careful because we're not joking in this struggle. And nobody would tolerate Anybody going to whether Canada or whether what country to be go and be joking there with people's life. You saw the guys in 1st of October. Those guys are not joking. They are serious. They have given their life for peaceful separation. We left Nigeria peacefully. We left Nigeria peacefully. We only want a peaceful separation. We don't want to be fighting this because it doesn't make sense for people to have their right and then you go and be fighting. Okay? So these people going for coalition of dialogue and whatever, be very careful. If you are for your federation, stay on your lane. Stay on your lane as a federalist. Stop intervening in the independence people's line because you are crossing the line. Remain with the Simon Munzos there, with the Tumis there. May so rest in peace. With the Ellie Smiths. Don't cross the line because you have proven to don't want to be independent. You want to be dependent. You want to be dependent. So stay dependent with the people you want to be staying dependent. Don't ask us to get to be dependent with people. We have been dependent for 60 years. 40 years with Nigeria. 60 years now. You want us to stay as slaves. So carry your mentality of federalism and go away. We don't want that in our circle because we will not tolerate that. The boys down there will not tolerate that. They are not fighting for their thing that called federation. So carry their thing and just go. If you are going, the president has said he's not be there. He will not be there. So if you go there and be talking their thing, talk there, but don't cross the lane. Yes, don't cross the lane. Let me talk about. Look at this guy. He'll go to we have a constitution, okay? We have a government, we have institutions that we have to respect. No matter what we do, okay, if we don't respect the constitution and our institution, we are going nowhere. Because tomorrow when we have a country, do you want to be seen every time you hear that they have had coups or they have had this person does this? No, we don't want that. That's why we are trying our best to make sure that we deal directly with the constitution. Okay. Let me ask this person. Let him talk about the trip to the president trip to Nigeria. Can you come online and tell us something about that? Hey, you there? Hello?
Program 1 for go celebrate with refugees. And I fit assure you, and you fit quote me anywhere, the only person between all these so-called leaders, them way they call themselves, say the leaders, Sako, Marianta, Kwanga, all these irrelevant leaders where they call themselves, no person no fit take that risk. No person. I know she says Sako go they enjoy your money for my trip to Buya draft 2021. He go risk his life for go down for Nigeria.
Not true.
Where La Republic face surprise you for say La Republic they play a two-side game.
Not true.
Whether you there with you if he still catch you, you know there with you if he still catch you.
Two-side game in the play.
So La Republic not na country, not na person where you fit trust them. No. La Republic once where you say no, even after you come talk say yes, they will not go still trust you.
They never trust you.
So now why that we tell when I say the only leader for this struggle na Christopher Arnold.
Yeah.
Whether when I like or not. Yes. The only leader where stand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. till the last man standing for this battle now, on the Christopher Arnold. Yes. When they see now actions them the show.
Right.
Words them the show.
Actions speak more better than
the
you are right.
that yesterday we come talk say what we go do now. Accountability. Now we get more than how many $1,000 were there for your account. He won't come down for power, so he don't give accountability for which money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we made the see fryer where people they donate.
Right.
Free or free. He don't give accountability. You know the accountability? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yes, nothing. So
Master.
Now why that we say
thank you,
bro. If you be Ambazonia and you will say me we get this independent,
right?
And you feel say leader they will feel lead this independent out of Christ and or some leader no day again.
You know they again.
Yes.
You know they.
I still remind Ambazonia people that even if this restoration council they not be there, will not talk again today about
not
this
true.
problem.
Not true.
Now why that you see these people their game. Mr. Sakobi played the same game. He said, don't resolve the restoration council, restore your own.
He own. He said, don't dissolve.
The same thing, the same action.
I don't know.
It come out called APP, where people been there around 40 or how many. Now that and he come out said the people are spoken. They start make this rubbish way they make them so. Say to call yourself say be president. No person not fit take that risk.
Nobody. Nobody, no matter that talk so.
For even go for Europe, they will be he call himself say the president. Man, you know we see for Europe.
You know we see him.
Marianta said we been there for that Europe. If they fear for go for some countries, them for go visit them. Sometimes they feel give some donation.
If you fear for travel, then they fear. No mind that knows what they make us so.
Cristiano, now do or die.
But my brother, and you don't talk. Leave him so, my brother. Thank you very much, our brother. You don't talk about some of these leaders now only noise making. They cannot even travel. No mind that thing. With the small talk we'll try to talk for the former president here. She was afraid to travel even. She couldn't even travel first of all because of her job. She could not travel. Since she's teacher, it's hard for her to travel. So allow people who can travel and who can do the job. This thing is volunteer. This thing, all of us are volunteers in if you see anybody in this struggle, it's volunteer. I don't know why is that when you volunteer, people want to take it as if it's a problem. People are becoming enemies in this thing when it's volunteering. I'm telling you, I doubt people who have their work, their jobs, their careers. Why should you be bothering with this struggle? This thing is we're all volunteering. People have to go to work. People have to do their other things. So the little time you have, sacrifice for the struggle. But if you don't have the time, you don't have the money, you don't have anything, just sit aside. Allow people who can do something. You must not be there. You must not be the one to do the and if you know that somebody is doing a job, try and appreciate at least. Learn to appreciate. Why are you always envying people? If you don't have the means to do something, appreciate people who can do it. That's how life is. Not everybody has the same. Our hands, our fingers are not the same. Our talents are not the same. Appreciate what somebody is doing. Because if the person is doing something for the struggle, appreciate the person. Don't be envy. Don't envy people like that. We had some of our members of the ANSC who are trying to say, oh, they want to raise funds for Ground Zero, We understand. But when we start, you can raise funds for whatever thing you want. But don't make it as a national thing. Okay, you can raise funds for a particular project. You can raise funds for a particular something. But when you say you are raising funds for the Ambazonia people, that is going back to the mistake we made in my trip to Boya. My trip to Boya had one account, $2 million something for one account. Imagine what can happen in that kind of money. Imagine when you have all Ambazonia put money in one account. I saw a video of this guy in the former parliamentarian in Gabon. He had a box of cash, like cash box. How many boxes? About 6 boxes of money taken to travel. That is what my trip to Boya had. My trip to Boya, that was a mistake we had. We did not understand that struggle needs to have a very mechanism that there will be accountability. When you put one money in one basket, all your eggs in one basket, that's what happened. That's what happened in my trip to Boya. But we have the members of the Restoration Council, and is also the chief of staff of the current regime. I want him to explain to you some laws in the constitution that spell out those aspects of how ANC should be work on, because ANC is not anybody just wake up that is a commander. Okay, ANC are people who are appointed by their LGAs to go and represent there. Okay, either the members of the defense are going there now to form ANC. Okay, Ambazonia National Self-Defense Council. That's what ANC is all about. We have to have structures, because those structures help us for accountability. If we don't respect those structures, anybody can just go and do anything. Anybody can just go and conduct their own contribution. But when you have your own system, it's fine. We have a lot of system like the one our brother did, Watana Wata. People give money there. But don't make your structure as if you want to come and take over something, or which, don't do that kind of thing. You can do it under a banner. We had other fundraising campaigns. Okay, we know of different campaigns that has been going on. What made those campaigns fail is because money entered into one pocket and one basket. And how do you go and start asking for accountability? Because when you run those kind of campaigns, you have to have a mechanism that you can give accountability. Okay, but when you give money there, you don't know how they are using it. You don't know what happened to the money. How do you think that people can still give you money? It's very difficult. Dr. Epa will tell us a little bit about the structure. There's a law in the constitution that tells you how members of the ANC are being formed. Dr. Epa is going to tell us much about that.
It was to be implemented by the former two president, Dr. Sako. That bill was signed, I think, April 10, 2021. And it was to take place. And different counties had their CDOs. That is that is the CDOs, that is county defense officers, were sent to DSS, and eventually, after vetting or whatsoever they did, the president at that time, who has been impeached and removed, Dr. Sako, appointed 3 county defense officers from every county, and that is one of the things that I decided not to be with Sako again, because he caused a lot of problems. He appointed people who were not even, whose names were not even sent to him, vetted, and then people who were not vetted by their counties and selected and sent to DSS were appointed. Name just came up. For example, Kumba, Kupe Mwanunguba, and many other places, even Manu. Now, when you go to that law, I want everybody to read the law, because it happens that the person who said that he drafted the bill, that bill was former Vice President Dr. Abongwa, as he himself told me, and told another LGA chair in Kupema Nungoba. But I told him that after debating that bill in the ROC 3 consecutive times, 3 of us were appointed to edit that bill and to change most of the language. And what is there right now is completely a different language. So I remember that Bad Bishop and think someone else came to ROC. They wanted their own, they wanted money, they wanted to have their own budget, and it is as if they think that they are independent. No, this law needs to be read very well. If there are certain things that need to be rectified, then we can discuss about that. But as for the law right now, nobody can go against it. Because Article 4 of that law states that, let me read, the ANSC will be constituted of all 3 appointed CDOs from each of the 13 counties. Since there are 13 counties and there are 3 times 3, that will be 39. Then the DSS. So the NSC will constitute of all 3 appointed CDOs from each of the 13 counties, the DSS, the Asia, and the presidency. I don't see where a particular group, just a particular group,
Right.
just the CDOs, feel that they are just on their own. The NSC comprises or constitutes of all 3 appointed CDOs from each of the 13 counties. That is, there will be 39 of those appointed. Plus the DSS. I don't know how many members of the DSS, maybe the secretary, the secretary of state, and maybe the deputy secretary of state, then the Asia, and the presidency. And the presidency is, I'm sure, obviously, is not just going to be only the president by himself, but we are going to get some other members in the presidency who are going to be there. That is what they call ANSC. It's not a particular group, which is just the CDOs. I don't know where we have this mentality. Then the ANSC coordinator will double as under Secretary of Defense in charge of county defense operations. NSC would also have a national defense spokesperson, the Undersecretary of Defense in charge of county defense operations, and the national defense spokesperson shall be appointed by the Commander-in-Chief from among suitable qualified county defense officers upon recommendation from an ANSC General Assembly.
Okay.
That is Article 4, A and B. We need to read this very well. Let the NSC, Babisham, and the rest don't confuse themselves.
Thank you very much for that information. I want to make it known that we have a structure, and those structures must be respected. Okay, when people do things without respecting the institution, it's going against the law. And every country that has democracy is because of respecting of the laws. Because when you don't respect the laws, you are not democratic. You are something. Anything that is not democratic is something else. So we have to understand the rule of law is very important in every society. When you don't respect the laws that you make, you don't respect the institution that you want to create, what are you building? In nation building, the institution is number one. Respecting of the laws and the constitution is very, very prime, is to a unique democracy. So that should be known. Our brother Abdul Karim is still in jail. I heard that they have taken him from Bamenda to Yaoundé, to Kondengi. This is why we have to keep fighting, because our people are being kidnapped, our people are being arrested, incommunicado, just for being an Ambazonian. If you ask now, what has Abdul Karim committed? What crime has he committed? Nothing. But that's him now in jail. If you live in this kind of situation, you tell these people who call themselves federalists, look at their brothers in jail. Look at their brothers in refugee camps. Look at their brothers that have been killed. Do they have a sense of reason? Because if you have a sense of reason, you will not be fighting for your brothers who are being arrested like this. Fighting against people who are trying to fight for your brothers. It is just sad, but that is the reality that we see, because what they are trying to do is to fight against the people, and it's very, very sad. But that is what is going on with Abdul Karim. We know of the UN. Okay, this is what Sibonage. You see, Sibonage said, someday October 1 may be jealously celebrated throughout southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, as July 4th is celebrated in the US. He said, but that requires unity of the leaders to reflect, or otherwise that will be done in months, will take years and decades. But this is the argument that most of the diplomats are putting forth, that the leaders are not united. It's that is totally wrong. The leaders are very united when it comes to the independence of Southern Cameroon, and that is what is important. They can have their different groups. That is not important. If Biya wanted to discuss, why is he running away from the Swiss-led negotiation and going back to call this guy, they call themselves National Dialogue, Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiation, when there is no third party? How can you be discussing among yourself and you say it's dialogue? It's the same thing that happened in the Grand National Dialogue, because they were talking among themselves. That's called monologue. When you are monologuing, you are talking among yourself, CPGM, in one house and drinking and making some noise there. You say you are dialogue. Is that dialogue? It should be a kind of negotiation. Two parties come and sit. The third party is there to facilitate the mediation process. We already had that, but Biya quitted that. Then he's going now, sending an envoy in the United Nations to go and beg for them to come and help. Now he's giving these guys transport to go and do what they call house to do some negotiation or whatever. All those things are failure upon arrival. Fail upon arrival, as they have been failing in the past years. So not now that it will succeed. Okay, it will not succeed. Let's look at this other one. If you want to write on Twitter, These are very important Twitter accounts that you can write to. You have the BBC breaking, the Africa Hub. You have the U.S. Embassy. You have VOA Africa, Department of State. This Department of State is there. Okay, you get all these are very you have POTUS. POTUS is the President of the United States. GP, UK Parliament. Okay, so Secretary Blinken is there. So these are the important people you can always tweet. If you have a tweet about Southern Cameroon, use this tweet as you see them there. Yes, they are very, very necessary. Okay. This is the case that the Biafrans filed in the International Criminal Court. Okay. For the release of their president and chairman. Okay. We filed cases before to ICC and ICJ. Okay, we have not had any heads up. We have not had heads up. We don't know whether the president in the ICC or ICJ, they don't receive cases. We have had cases against Bia. We have had different cases. Okay, but we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's the issue that is happening there. We don't know. So probably we're gonna get much. Okay. This is how Southern Cameroon has been made, Savannah, Midland, and Atlantic regions. Those are the regions that we have in the Southern Cameroon. Okay. Very, very important. I'm gonna leave you with some information. On Thursday, we have the Million Man March. Don't forget. On Thursday, we have a million man march. Okay. On Thursday. Yeah, we have a million. Yeah. On Thursday. That's a flyer. If you see this flyer, share and share and share and share. That flyer is about the Million Man March, and you see all the information that has to do with the flyer and all those. So just know that that flyer is about the upcoming event. It's on Thursday. You all know Amber Peace Plan, APP. It's on Thursday. So don't forget, on Thursday, that's it. Million Man APP meeting. It's on Thursday. So on Thursday, you have a lot of, that's the bigger one. I'm going to show you the bigger one so that you can, okay. This one, Million Man March, that's a flyer. When you see the flyer, share it and share, because on Thursday, it's going to be huge. This one is presided by the president himself. The President Chris Ano, is the one who's going to preside on this APP meeting. So don't afford to miss this one, okay? It will be big. So thank you very much. We have, okay.
We must unite, and we come out for one family, then we must unite. We are bearing the same mother, we must unite, and we are speaking the same dialect. I say we must unite. No, we are bringing up on people for one. We must unite. Make I tell you something that I see for life. If it's something nobody do you, they no feel no they think. The more you bend down for look my yash, and the more you they expose your own mumu, the lamb, the body kill am. You say you be king for jungle. Now who feel be like Papa got an oversee, I'm an over here. Make we reason all together, and we live as one people. Trouble come in lama, no fee come out for one family, come we want separate. No, we are bringing all come people for one. We must unite. We are bearing the same father. We must unite. And we come out for